week is Julian Lewis, freshman in exploratory studies. Ravel Lightfoot, senior sociology, academic awards this week as well. CU held its annual academic breakfast earlier this week. 3 buffs earned. Mention 4.0 club. There's Dempsey, Shane Cokes, Travis Hunter. Total of 87 players achieved the 3.0 GPA better. Let me say that again. A total of 87 players achieved a 3.0 or better. Okay. Ron Coleman was presented with the Motivated to Succeed Award. Football team as a whole presented an Impressive Academic Performance Award in the fall. Football team had its highest GPA in the history. And the cumulative GPA of the team is also the highest in the history, both over 3.0 for its first time. What are we talking about? That is unbelievable to me, man. Now that makes me smile. That right there makes me smile. Spring game, tickets still available. Game at 2:30 on ESPN2. I think we over 15,000 tickets. I think it hurt the ticket sales when they said that we wasn't going to get that scrimmage. I really do. Against Syracuse, and I wish we would have, but hopefully we get it a year from now when somebody else think of it besides me and Coach Fran Brown, and let them do it first. So the ticket sales will be astronomical in sales, not the prices, but it'll be a great thing to pack this thing out. Travis and Shador retired jerseys. That's a sore subject that I saw the other day. We're retiring jerseys 2 and 12 for Shador and Travis. Travis is the most decorated player in a single season in college football history, and Shador has over 100 school records, and just the second QB in Division One history to have over 14,000 career passing yards while completing 70% of his passes. New strength coach Morgan Cole and Tessa Grossman, they're unbelievable young ladies, doing a fine job. Thank you for equality. Thank you for diversity. Thank you for those women coming on board. Wonderful. I think that's the first in CU. We had a lot of firsts in CU history, huh? God bless my AD. I love him to life. I love Rick so darn much. It's unbelievable. Let's get it on. I feel good today. How you doing? Excellent. Yes, I do. Just curious about your contract extension. What went into that negotiation with you here at CU? I told you I wasn't going nowhere. I don't know why y'all didn't believe me. You know, I cried to you before I lied to you. I love it here. I adore it here. I wanted to get some things done before I was able to do what we did long term. Resorts, collectives, NIL stuff, a few of the coaches as well, and we got them taken care of. So then I came in and got mine done. I don't like talking about me and talking about money, man. I never been one to do that. I don't know. I don't ever remember holding out, even in football or baseball, contracts for money. I know they say when you're a rookie it's a holdout, but it's really not because you don't have a contract. So how can you hold out when you don't have a contract? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard when my rookie year. But I don't ever remember fighting for. I just balled. The money finds you. So that's the approach. That's the approach. I don't like talking about my stuff. Let's talk about somebody else. Jack Carlo. Okay, Carlo.
Just wanted to ask, obviously a busy week.
Yes, sir.
Really busy month for you guys.
Yes, sir.
What's the kind of challenge for you and your staff balancing transfer portal opening yesterday?
Well, I think we know the portal really good. We've been doing this for quite some time. It didn't just start when we got here. We started at Jackson. It started really in youth when we come and take nothing and turn it into something. So when we started our Truth Youth program, we had nothing. So that means we got a lot of kids out of the portal, which is from other schools, other teams, and we did our thing. Same in high school, same at Jackson, and thus far. We got some tremendous guys identified that's in the portal that we felt like we're going to be in the portal. We don't jump the gun on that stuff because the last thing I want to hear is my name associated with tampering or anything like they do our kids. We got contracts. I mean, we got some schools so stupid they give kids contract, but they're still here. I don't understand that whatsoever. Like NCAA, y'all got to do something, man. Don't just sit there on your hands and open them up so everybody could grease your darn palms and make ton of money off everybody and don't have nothing to say about nothing. I don't understand that part. But portals is going to be good to us. I think we have several players coming this weekend, which I'm excited to see, along with what we already have in house.
Hi, Coach.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Most of the time, 24/7
Mhm.
sports. You obviously spent a lot of time evaluating Katie's alternative handlers. You had
Mhm.
an idea what they were bringing to the table. I'm curious now, 14 practices in, how that's kind of matched up.
They're learning. They're learning. Every day they're getting better and better. They're starting to understand the system. It's tougher on Pat and the offensive coaches because you have two different type of quarterbacks. So you pretty much call in two different offenses. When this guy's in, you call it this way. When this guy's in, you call it that way. And Sharp kind of is the most versatile. He can do a little bit of both. So it's different. It's not easy whatsoever. But these these three guys, Staub has been a tremendous spring to me. He's in it as well. It's totally different because we that old reliable and we didn't have to blink. We knew what we were getting on Saturday. We knew that. Now we got to really think about this thing and see who these guys are so we can put them in the right position for success. And that's probably the main thing, kind of figuring these guys out, what they're good at, what they're not, what they're comfortable with, how much can we push them. And we still have a whole summer to do so as well. What's going on, Ben? Amen. Not really. This is the first time I ever seen it sore. I don't know if you know it, but I'm retired, man. I think every jersey Darren I played in is retired. So I'm pretty familiar with this. So it's never been sore. I don't have a message. I'm praying for my AD. I love him to life, Rick George. Let's get the elephant out the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm gonna just talk briefly and let it go. We talking about Shador. We ain't talking about nobody else. But his last name wasn't Sanders, we wouldn't have this discussion. The only reason we were having this discussion is his last name Sanders. Okay, that's it. It's been so many things accomplished at this university expeditiously. It's been unbelievable, and I think we should be appreciative. We should be thankful. We have a room full of wonderful people that covers us, and I don't know if you all were in this room 2-3 years ago. Some, I mean, very few. Okay, but I mean, it's a new day. We're doing things a little different. I think the training table, I think the food is better. Nobody said nothing about that. It's a whole lot of things that are brighter and they're better because someone stands on business and makes it that way. And he is resilient when it comes to it being that way because everything we do is to improve everything for us. I think it was hot in here one time. I said, let's turn the darn air conditioner overnight on our night game, right? The next time we came in, what happened? I think about those details because it don't just benefit me; it benefits what? All of us. So if all of us are happy, all of us should be happy. I'm not going to be critical of you because I didn't get what I want. I don't get down like that. And the root to all of it is personal. Sometimes we got to get out the way, man, and just be thankful for our people, others. Love that neighbor as thyself. That's what the Bible told me. If we loved that neighbor truly, we wouldn't have a problem with nobody else. He don't care. Let's get this straight. He's a Sanders. He don't care. Travis don't either. I don't either. I think it's a beautiful day, blessed day. These guys are thinking about the draft, man. They think about where they're going to spend their career. That's what they're on right now. But we're thankful that Buff Nation has been gracious. They've been wonderful. I feel like we have the best fan base ever, ever, especially over the last 2 years. I can't comment before because I wasn't here. So it's hard for me to attach myself to something that wasn't because I wasn't not here. But the last 2 years has been phenomenal, man. It's going to be a better place. That's why I call it home now. I get mail here. I don't know if y'all know it or not.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell.
Mhm.
Two questions for you. First up, now you 14 practices. How would you assess the spring overall?
We straight. I don't know how you assess spring. You're practicing against yourself. So if you're doing good, what does that say? If you're doing bad, what does that say? So you can't really assess that. That's why I wanted a spring game against somebody else, where you could kind of assess talent, you could assess coaching, you could assess growth. adversity. You can assess a whole lot of things. So it's kind of tough to really assess talent and assess what you want to see. I know what I like to see. I don't see that every day. I saw it today. I had a great practice today, I feel.
The second question is, as the portal opens
Mhm.
now, we know you guys will be active.
We've always been active.
Everybody is.
We've always been active.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Why is it welcome that everybody's active now?
that's just the way it is these days.
How? But a couple years ago, it was a problem. I just read somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, because my reading is not great as well. One school had 30 guys jump. Is that correct? Yeah. Where's the outpouring, and where's the ignorance? What is he doing?
So my question to you is that with the portal opening now, obviously you're going to be active, but I'm curious, like, are there particular areas where you want to target?
Every area. I want to target every area. You don't just sit back and think you got it. I mean, I think the kicking game is set. I think we tight in the kicking game. Long snappers as well as kickers and punters, we straight. Everything else is we need to improve.
Yeah, Wick Roach, so the judge overseeing the house settlement who wants to see players grandfathered in who would otherwise be cuts.
Grandfather, what does that mean?
Like players who would get cut right now from the roster.
You can't cut anybody, really, can you? Let me know.
Well, right, like Walker limits,
Yeah, but what you don't call that cutting? What do you call it? Just escort them to the portal. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you call it?
Well, a lot of these walk-ons, which we've got several walk-ons on the team off scholarships, but
No, we offer one walk-on a scholarship, not several. One. There you go.
But do you think these people who would otherwise not be on the limited team roster, do you think they should be grandfathered in and have the opportunity to play?
I don't know what grandfather. If you have roster limits of 105, that's roster limits. I don't know what the grandfather or the grandma.
It would be able to not have that 105.
But then you're at 106, or 107. So now why did you even put a limit on it anyway? No. Whatever the rules are, let's just stick with the rules. Let's stop trying to fluff the rules, man. It is what it is. If the speed limit says 55, man, it's 55. It ain't 60. Okay, it is what it is. Let's stop. You grandfather in because I was old and somebody was having a baby and I had to get there. Okay, so no, man, it is what it is. What's going on, boss?
Obviously, the trend portal, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
What kind of, I guess, maybe your general message to maybe potential issues about why Colorado?
I don't think I have to explain why Colorado. I think they see that on an everyday basis. Why Colorado? I don't think I have to sit up there and sell us to anybody. I think by the time they get here, they're looking for confirmation. Our program sells itself. We do a wonderful job with Neely and reach to people and well off and Snelly and all that kind of stuff. We do a great job of really exposing our program. We did a great job on Pro Day. Matter of fact, all of you that cover Pro Day, you did a great job. I'm talking about a wonderful job. That was one of the best Pro Days I was told that many scouts have come to witness, and that's because of your coverage of it as well. So we do a good job of exposing our program. So I don't think we have to sell anything. They just want validation and confirmation.
Brandon Christoph from Girls Sports. Going back to the retired jersey conversation, have you chatted with Rick about honoring the past in addition to obviously Travis?
I'm not.
That's being created at All American.
I'm not into that. I'm into coaching football right now. Like I don't know if you saw this, and I want you to make note of this. I had a wonderful idea one day. Why am I just talking about these guys that certainly going to get drafted? I'm going to talk about all my guys because I love all of them. And if it wasn't word for them, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I did a personal video for every kid that's getting ready to go in the draft that are seniors. I honored every last one of them. That's my responsibility, I feel, for my era, for my team, for my guys, because of what they did for me. When I start going back into something that I don't know nothing about, that I wasn't involved in, I'm going to ruffle feathers because I'm going to forget somebody. bless you, that I don't know nothing about. And that's going to be a problem. And I don't want to be put in that position. I want to be a good steward on what God has placed me over. And I feel like I am. I really do feel like the love and support that we give for this university, as well as the other sports, we we give everybody love. I don't know if you know it or not. I'm talking about soccer, lacrosse, tennis. Yeah, they call me Prime Black and Roll, by the way. Tennis, uh, every sport, man. That I got love for. Basketball, I said it, but I really do, and I try my best to help each program get to the next level, as well as track and cross country. But all that yesterday stuff, I don't know about that because somebody's gonna get sensitive. I have some dear friends. I know Cordell and Westbrook. Westbrook is my guy. We had a great talk the other night. Who else? Several guys. Especially that whole lineage of corners that were great here. So it's good. It's good.
Final schools from throughout the report with spring practices almost over.
I wish I could just shake everyone. Can we start off with me just shaking everyone's hand that played him before? Just giving them a hug, right? They got to come back for that, right? Let's start with that. Let's start off right there. That's what I want to do.
With everyone, with the spring practice period almost over, what are you seeing out of in the quarterback competition?
Well, they're different, totally different. Um, they can play, man, but they approach the game totally different. But we got to be better in coaching to their strengths. We got to be better to put them in the right situations for success. But those guys can play. Yes.
Coach, honestly, I wanted to ask you about the offensive line. How far do you think you guys have come in that department over the last?
Long way. Long way. We're gonna run the heck out of the ball this year. We are. We said that last year we didn't get it done. We're gonna run the heck out of the ball, but we improved from the previous year. But this year, with the offensive linemen that we've attained, uh, our coaching staff that we reassembled, excuse me, with the three-headed monster of coaches, as well as what Marshall Falk brings to the table, we're gonna run football. We're gonna run football. You're probably gonna see two more backs um, out of the portal as well.
Hey, Coach. Recently just announced that Wilsonville will be switching from grass to turf.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you had any input in that.
Yeah, we plan on making it to the playoffs, and we don't want to play in the frozen tundra. I don't know if the heating system that once was available, I don't know if that was still available because we do so much in the off season. I mean, this university is a magnet for events. So when you have an event and you putting a lot of wear and tear on grass, that's kind of tough to bounce back on. And I don't know if you guys have been on the field. I assume not. But when you have evening games, it's a dew that gets on the field and it gets pretty slippery, man. For both teams, not just our team, but we should have some type of advantage for that. So just going to turf just assures us a better footing, a better surface, and it takes a lot of pressure off our wonderful staff that's doing the grounds. Now they can focus more on the other practice fields to make sure they're straight all year round for us.
The other one I have for you was you always talk about you want 7 guys.
Right.
Inside of football.
Right.
I imagine now schools know that there's going to be some turnover.
Yeah.
How close would you say you are?
We're not far away. We're definitely not far away. I think at this point last year, I think we still got about 15 or 17, maybe 14 guys out of the portal at this point last year, going into the summer. So we want to be around that area, and we'll be pretty good. We're around that area, and I think we're going to stay consistent with our number at 105, what the NCAA requires. We're going to be pretty consistent with that.
With the quarterback battle, there's been like talks of redshirting.
Who did you hear say that? Who? Who is Nick Evans? Who? Who? Self-explanatory. Nobody said that, man. Nobody said that. That's not our plan. That's not his plan, but if it happens, it happens. If he sustains an injury, that puts him in that situation. But you never know. I mean, the guy could be a 2 or he could be a 1. I don't think we're gonna put him in a box like that. We're not doing that. You got to know, young fella, when you come here with something, I'm gonna call you out on it now. So be prepared next time. Like, I don't know who that is. Yes, sir.
John Priest, 9 years.
Pleasure.
3 springs in, how would you evaluate the state of your program right now? Use the juice and what?
I always have juice. I don't not ever have juice. You're never gonna catch me down in somber whatsoever. I don't move like that. I love where we are. I think we could always do better. We could always be better. We could always have several other players that make you feel better about what's going on. I feel really good about the staff. I feel really good about the support staff, where we are injury wise. The guys that I know are going to be helping coming back this summer. I really feel really good about Swayze and what he's doing in strength and conditioning. I feel great about the program, man. The sky's the limit for us. I know that's old cliche, but it really is. It's on us. It's not going to be on anybody else. It's going to be on us to do what we plan on doing. And Ray Fossett, he keeps doing a tremendous job of attaining the talent that we need to get to the next level. Pretty Tony is what they call it.
Last one, go for it.
Yeah.
Coach Jefferson, on your draft day, when you short lines in draft position, I would have asked for so much money they would have.
Yes, sir.
What do you remember about that day in 1999?
Tremendous. Let me see. That's a great question, sir. The first thing I remember of that day is we were so broke that we weren't gonna have it at home because we had rats and roaches. We wouldn't want to risk that on national TV. So we did it, I think, at my agent's house at the time with Steve Zucker, I believe, in Chicago. That's where we had it at. And I think the next day you flew in, and I flew on a regular plane. Like I remember standing in line to get on the plane and coming out of Atlanta. That's when everybody used to be in the airports. It was everything, and coming out and the cameras being right there and everything. And I was fly, clean, had the Florida swag going. But it was a wonderful day. The reason it was a wonderful day, because let me get this right, because this is probably going to be a viral moment. The reason it was a wonderful day, because from that day forward, my mother never worked another day of her life. Yeah. Those dreams really came true. So that day was that day. And then from thereafter, I had to work to maintain that she never had to go back to work because of me mismanaging money, of mismanaging hope. That's the worst thing ever. Players don't talk about that. That they retired their mother, but their mama had to go back to work. We don't talk about that stuff. That's the kind of stuff we skip through. But if you don't handle it right, players, men and women now, in college sports as well as professional, you got to handle it right. Because you hate that dream that you have for your parents to become a nightmare. That's embarrassing. Great question. We good? Thank you. Hey, again, Rick George is a wonderful, blessed human being. Not because he blessed me, but because what he's done for this university, with this university, to this university, is unbelievable. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rick George. God bless you. All right, thank you.